Hello and welcome to month 2, or the principle of creation number 1 of the resources on Foundation Builder Guide Study, or FBG study.houseofthebook.org. We are going to show you a little bit about these mothers and children resources. At first, this is a reminder of all of the lessons that are available for you to jump in and start participating. In the first lesson, or in the devotional lesson, I believe it's probably in the devotional lesson, there is the English and Ancient Hebrew alphabet drawing guide. And this is a great place to begin sharing with your children and introducing to them about language and our English language on the left, and how that relates and connects with the original language of the ancient Hebrew language. And there is an article in the beginning of that drawing guide that explains how our English language connects back to the Celtic, and through the Celtic through into the Hebrew. So it's so fascinating and exciting. And in this whole guide, I share each letter and what its original letter is. And it's a great way to teach your children from those biblical stories and bring them into the Bible in this new way. And my dyslexic child that was reading from right to left whenever he saw words and language, and it was really hard. This really helped him to go through the letters in a large area, fill the space, and to begin left and right. And I explained how the English way is left and right, and the Hebrew way is right to left. And so, and sometimes we would read it from left to right. Well, we would start by reading the right to left, and then I would say, now let's read it the English way and go left to right, because he was very much in his right brain, which is a beautiful gift. And so it's a great way. And there is a book about the ancient language, and they call it the Paleo scripts, I think, and how our language originates to that. But I believe it really cuts out the origin of the ancient Hebrew people and their story, whom we come from. And so I put this together to help you become the storyteller and you learn how they all connect. So that's a great place to start, especially with the A and the Aleph. Take the guide and this principle, my Principles of Creation 1 journal pages from the first lesson, and print them off, and then go through the principle workshop number 1 in the second lesson with the recording, and help yourself to see how we're using these resources layer by layer, as mentioned in the previous video, and pick and choose what you would like to participate in. I do recommend listening to the story and drawing a picture of it, and inviting your children to draw when you tell stories anytime. And there's a lot of resources there, and that helps you use all of these home resources and mothers and children's symbolic learning home resources in whatever you can fit them in, however you can fit them in throughout your month. The script, the positive script is, I am powerful and strong. I can be what I was born to be. Now, this is a really key thing. When we were creating this story, we started out with, it was, I can do what I was born to do. And I had this visionary experience where I had like 5 minutes to just put my vision on paper, and what came to me was these oxen. They were yoked together, and they were going up a mountain that was hard and stumbled and rocky, and they had to go together. And above, at the top of the mountain, was that sun at horizon. And the words that came out of my pen were, I can be what I was born to be. And this is really about I can be. And later in the principles, we learn more about things to do, but this is so much about our being and becoming. So just keep that in mind. It goes, I am powerful and strong. I can be what I was born to be. When I listen and obey, observe, work, and follow is the way. Okay, and there's a better MP3 right there in the modules in that lesson on the FBG illustration lesson. And this is where we're illustrating these principles through the stories and through the song and the dance. Then in the shape and number or creation and nature environment page through shape and number, there are opportunities, and here's an example. There's all the rest of the lessons are about exploring. So this is a great way to start with your children, is to explore the creation and start drawing circles and go back to on the day one. There are specific verses that I reference in the book of Moses, which is from a retranslation, I would say, of the book of Genesis. But it goes through, and just think of like the forming of the earth. There was no form, and it was void of a form. And so God gathered in and created this form. And there's resources there in that lesson, shape and number, that you can begin with your children, begin drawing in a notebook. I suggest those Waldorf supplies, paper, scissors, stone, I think it is. But you can start to have a blank page and then create your own numbers book. And then there's another example of how you can learn the math multiplication through the circle and the twos and the ones, and the ones is easy, and the twos and the threes and fours, all kinds of fun resources. So that's an example of how you can explore. Then when you get to the language and words, there are so many great stories that illustrate this principle. And as you go through these, remember to layer. You're layering one experience after another with the next.